Most people think we do sausage or some sort of meat, a meadery, when they first come in. We do get a lot of calls from roofers, thinking that we're a roofing company though, yeah. Well, a lot of times, people will come in and they'll say, is it like a beer wine, or, it's just really hard for people to kind of wrap their brain around it initially. Basically, if we can get people to try it, we find that most of the time they end up really enjoying it.
Mead is the oldest known fermented beverage to mankind. We know the hunters and gatherers were pulling it in before the advent of agrarian society. So we don't really have an idea of how far back it goes, but it definitely predates written history. Mead at its most basic is a fermented product based on the fermentation of honey. A lot of people think mead is a full-strength wine that's very sweet, but in reality it can be presented in a variety of different fashions. We here present session strength or low alcohol meads that are lightly carbonated and run the gamut from sweet to dry. There are places that make meads that are almost exclusively like dry white wines, and others that really focus on the large, sweet, honey-forward products. But at its heart, as long as it's been made from fermented honey, that's mead.
This is our base mead. It's the Gandy Dancer. It's essentially the foundation of everything we do. It's quite simply just honey, water, and yeast, balanced semi-sweet, and it really expresses the honey that we use. This is our berry picker. It's a mixed berry mellow mel. It's strawberry forward, but it also contains blackberries, blueberries, and red raspberries. And then this is a growler of the collar. We do a bourbon barrel series here. It's a 10% Imperial Gandy Dancer that's been aged in a wild turkey barrel. It's one of my personal favorites.
I've definitely really been enjoying playing with bourbon barrels. That's not something we've seen as much of in the industry of late, but we see a lot in the craft brewing industry. So I've tried to bring that barrel program experience over to the meadery in order to try a lot of different flavors. Originally they've been used to flavor oak spirit, so you have those burned oak sugars that give a sort of a vanilla or vanillin type impression. You get a lot of other very, very subtle flavors, and you get some character from the spirit as well from the barrel. And all that comes together to just add a different dimension to the mead entirely.
Mead is largely even more unheard of than maybe some of your typical craft beers. We've been really tickled with the amount of places that can get behind the mead wagon, if you will. Yeah, come to the meadery and try a sample flight. There's a bunch of good ones.
What I want people to experience when they drink here is something that's approachable. What I want people to do is come in and find something very direct, very approachable, very clean, very bright. Nothing overly complicated, but something very enjoyable. Especially when it comes to the hot Missouri summers, a nice lightly flavored sweet or beverage is nice on a really hot day.